Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon. I just wanted to come and quickly give you guys a couple of messages. Thank you for clicking on my video. Hope everyone is having a beautiful day. Hope everyone's well. I know the last time that I shared a video, my phone cut off, and I was speaking about how important it is to call your power back and to stand in your power. And I wanted to quickly touch on that a little bit. As children, as babies, when we're born full of light and love. And as we go through life and circumstances, things happen to us, and our light is dimmed, and which also causes us to not have as much strength in our power. And we're not taught about this as children. And we go through circumstances that cause us to become angry and bitter and jealous and hurtful. And that's another way of giving your power away. So by the time you're an adult, we're kind of weak and not even knowing it. So when you go through life and go through problems and situations and you're not able to heal properly from those situations, it causes you to lose your power, lose some of your power. And it causes your light to dim each time you go through these experiences. And if you do not replenish your power and find a way to brighten your light, then you go through life struggling and sad and depressed and not fulfilled because you've given your power away. And that is not the life that God intended for us to have. The plan, that was not the plan that God had for our lives. So it is very important to learn how to first stop giving your power away in different circumstances and situations. Two, learn how to call all your power back from all these different situations and circumstances, because it's almost like you're fragmented, your body, your pieces, your soul, pieces of yourself are left in these different places where you've been hurt or where you've had trauma or where you've had these situations. And you have to now go back and almost collect pieces of yourself and somehow make peace with those pieces to gain your power back. That's the shadow work. That's like deep childhood wounds. You're going back. Any physical abuse, molestation, if you had any adult abuse, rape, or anything of that sort, any murder, any trauma that you may have went through, you left a piece of yourself there. You left a piece of your power there unknowingly. That's just life. So you have to somehow do the shadow work and go back and gather those pieces and heal those pieces so that you can become whole again and so that you can gain your power back. Also, you have to learn how to, the third thing is you have to learn how to stop trying to siphon someone else's power or impose on someone else's power, impose your will over someone else's free will. Because that's another way to you're giving up your power. You're making yourself weaker as a soul, as a child of God. By doing those things, you're making your own soul weaker. So those are the three things that you need to work on in order to kind of gather yourself back. And you need to do these things often as until you feel yourself whole again. If you have to call your power back all day, every day, in every situation, you're benefiting no one but yourself for doing these things, because it's going to benefit you and strengthen your spirit and your soul and make your circumstances improve and make your life better. Being able to call your power back strengthens your spirit, and it gives you power to withstand anything and to go through anything. And the more things you go through, knowing that you have the power and the strength to go through these things, and that these things are not actually happening to you, they are happening for you to show you that you do have this power and that you can wield it and that you can change any circumstances. All things work for the good for those who love the Lord and who know this information. Knowledge is power. It says that in the Bible, like, my people perish from lack of knowledge. If you don't know these things, you're just going through life blind, not understanding and understanding and overstanding that you have this power, and you just, life is just kicking your ass like Debo. And you got mind control over Debo. You really do. You just didn't know it. They didn't teach us this. They taught this back in early religions that they do not want us reading about. They do not want you, if you know, they do not want this information out, but it's out there. If you seek, if you search, you will find it. It's the internet is in your hand. It's on your phone. You can Google anything. You can search anything. And I don't mean just Google words. I mean Google religions and seminars, documentaries, and different books that were written back in the 1700s, the 1600s, the 1900s, the 1500s, scrolls, Egyptian hieroglyphs. Go way back. Don't just stop at Christianity. Don't just read Catholics. Don't just read Islam. No, I mean study. Go to each religion and see what the common denominator is. Because they're all basically saying the same things, just at different times by different people. And it will give you the blueprint of how to get yourself back in alignment with source, with God, with Muhammad, the universe, Most High, whatever name you want to call him, how to get yourself back in alignment with him, with it, and get your power back and learn to stand in your power so that you can have a good life. You can have heaven here on earth. We've been going through this great awakening, and it's not just some people, it's everybody, whether you know it or not, if you're on board with it or not, if you're involved in it or not. You are also going through this awakening, and you are changing from the inside out. Your DNA is changing, your mind is changing, and you may have been having even symptoms of an awakening and you just didn't know what was going on. But it is written, every knee shall bow and every tongue shall confess that they themselves are the Lord. God put himself in you. He hid himself in the most precious place that he could think of. That is the most hardest place to find yourself, himself. It's within yourself, within you. And you can go to church, and I'm not knocking church. I went to church as I was a child, was baptized at 14, was sung at church, was on the usher board, brought my children up the motherboard, all those things. And it was very, very helpful, and it helped me to be very educated in the Bible. But you have to go past that, is what I'm saying. You need to further your education, further your knowledge, and understand. At least try to over and understand what the purpose of your life is. Why did you come here? What are you doing here? What legacy are you leaving? And I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about when you leave this earth and you know, they finna close the casket on you. What are people going to say about you? What stamp did you leave on this universe, on this earth, that people will speak of, that you will be remembered for? Because once you cross over, you get to, it's not over. That's not, life does not end when they close that casket. It keeps going. And now you get to look at your life. You get to look over your life and everything that you have accumulated and what you've contributed to society and to your family, to your lineage, to your children, to your grandchildren, to your great-grandchildren, to people in your neighborhood, to your family. How did you treat people? What that soul be like? How about that? How did you make people feel? And that's very important, because that, again, is another place where you give your light away. You give your power away, not going through life, not giving a damn, not caring. How do you make people feel? How do you treat people? Are you stepping on people's neck just because you can? Because no, you can't. You may have been able to get away with it, but the time we are living in now, this is the time where God spoke of in the Bible, where he said, the meek shall inherit the earth. The first will be last, and the last shall be first. The people who have been in charge and who have abused their power over and over and over again, and who have not focused on what was good and what was right in God's eyes and God's sight, in the universal laws, the Ma'at laws, those people are receiving bad karma right now. And the people who have been treating people kindly and fair and working towards being a better person and trying to heal themselves and trying to help others heal, those people will receive good dharma, good karma right now. And look around, you can see the proof is in the pudding. You can see whose life is like not doing well and whose life is not. And it's not too late. If your life is not doing well, you still got action to get it together. You're still here. You're still breathing. You're still alive. It's never too late. It's never over. Even when it's over, it's still not over. You still have action to come back here in another life, reincarnate again, and do this shit all over again. So I'm the type of person, well, I just want to get it done right the first time. I don't want to have to keep coming back here learning over and over again. Apparently, I've done that. And I'm just trying to shine my light now and give the information that I've learned and that God has given me to everyone else. And you could take it, you could leave it. It's, I'm just being obedient to what God told me to do, to shine my light and let others see that there is a way and that they will this power. They have this power. The same light that I have is in everyone. It's not just me. I just was maybe chosen to bring it out sooner than some others. But I understand too much is given, much is expected. And I don't play with God. And I'm just trying to let everyone know that there is a way out and to have hope. If you've been putting in the work, or if you want to put in the work to change your life, then do it. Start today. Make better choices today. Try to be better than you were yesterday, today. Another thing I wanted to talk about is how important it is to forgive. And I've struggled with this a lot, but how important it is to forgive people. You have to forgive them for just not being who you wanted them to be. And that's okay. I'm sure somewhere in my life, I didn't stand up to someone's standards. I didn't measure up to someone's standards. And that's okay. So I have to now, and everyone has to be able to let people live without having nothing to say about it. Don't be Pharaoh. Let the people go. Whatever they want to do, let them do it. They want to, as long as they're not hurting themselves or no one else, then let them do it and forgive them for that. And I've struggled with that so much, forgiving, because I held on to, but I wouldn't have done this person like this, or I don't see how someone could shoot someone's son like that, because I wouldn't shot no one's son, or whatever. It's been so hard, but as we went through this last new moon, I was able to just release a lot of things that I know was holding only me back, because the person or the people who I was trying to hold accountable for this ill will that I think they done to me, it wasn't stopping them. It was holding me back from being able to manifest my greatest desires and live my best life. And once I was able to release those things, it's like I hold no grudges. I'm not mad at no one. I wish everyone well. I hope everybody heals. And I hope everyone wishes the same for me. That's operating and letting everyone else operate in their own free will and not try to change someone or make someone see things your way. I'm not trying to convince no one of anything. I'm just trying to live my life in peace, shine my light, start some businesses, make some money, and show everyone that it can be done. I don't care what you've been through. I don't care what life has given you, what hand you've been dealt. You could turn that around, I promise you. And at this great time that we're living in, manifestations is coming in quick. Once you change your life, change your perception on the way you think, raise your vibrations, focus on positive things, forgiveness, and love. Love is the highest vibration of all. Love and gratitude. If you live in love and gratitude, you are living at the highest vibration, and you are able to manifest and to live in a blessed life, especially if you've done the work, you've done the shadow work. You're treating people how they should be treated. You're forgiving people. You ain't out here being ruthless because you can. Because you can't. But you're really out here doing that work, that soul work, and standing on big spiritual business. Then you're blessed. Your life is peachy. Your life is lovely. And if it's not, it's coming. Believe me. If you've been doing the work and you in tune, then your day is coming. I promise you. This is the reaping season. I've been getting blessed and blessings on top of blessing, and God just keep telling me to tell the people that it's not just you, it's for all of us. We are all children of God. You just need to operate in your kinship. You need to operate like God is your father. And operate in your power and know who you are. And it will change your life. Once you find out this information and you apply it to your life and you start living it that way, it's a game changer. And you will never be the same. And won't nobody be able to tell you shit. Because you hear straight from the divine. You hear straight from God, straight from source. It don't matter what nobody say to you. It don't matter what nobody tell you. Because you know that you know that you know. And you don't care who questioning you. People may question me and say things to me like, oh, my own sister even said like, oh, no, God don't talk to you. And God talked to me. God told me my son was leaving here before he left here. And I was able to purchase life insurance for my son. And I was able to tell my son. And I was able to prepare my son. So can't nobody tell me nothing. And God been talking to me since I was a child. It just got stronger when my son was getting ready to go to transition. And it's been getting stronger ever since. So can't nobody tell me nothing about God. Can't nobody shake my faith. And that's where God wants all of us. That's where God wants you. Where you stand on it, 10 toes down, like, no, I don't care what you say. 10,000 may fall at your left, 5,000 may fall at your right, but you stay focused. Like Chris Brown said, you moving steady. You is. And can't nobody shake that, no matter what. Because nobody can tell you nothing about God and your faith and your strength. And when you have that, you have everything. And no one can take that from you. So I encourage everybody to get a closer relationship with God, a closer relationship with yourself, with your higher self, with your spirit team, with your ancestors, with the angels. And really take some time out and meditate. And when I say meditate, I don't mean just sit somewhere and no, I mean sit quietly. Go by the water, go sit in the park, go sit outside, go sit in your room and just sit. Turn the TV off, turn everything else and just sit quietly and pray and ask God, God, please talk to me. And just be quiet and listen. And he will show up. God, your ancestor spirit will show up for you. And you will have a direct connection, a direct line to the Most High. And he will give you messages and put you up on game and tell you like, no, don't make this deal. No, don't go that way. No, don't talk to that person. And you won't have to guess and worry and stress yourself up. Stress yourself out. Because you know that you know that you know that you heard from the Most High. So like I said, it's a game changer. It changes your life because you're no longer living in fear. You're no longer living in lack. You're no longer living in doubt. You're no longer living in grief. Yeah, you get sad, you get mad, you go through stuff, but it's not the same. Death loses its sting. All those betrayals, they become lessons. And those people become books, pens, pencils, classes. They become the tools that God used to bring you into your wholeness, into your fullness. And now you're no longer mad at those people because you know that they were just a catalyst for your growth, for your transformation, to bring you into your best self. And now when you see those people, you're no longer angry at them. You no longer have a sour taste in your mouth when you think of those people or when you see them, because you know that it's all good. It was all for the good. And you wish them well and you hope they heal as you have healed. Because when you go through life and these things happen, and then you go through trials and tribulations and anger and different things with people, and then you leave this earth, and you have created a soul tie with that person. And now you will reincarnate and come back to heal that soul tie with that person. And it's very important to heal those soul ties with these people, these souls, so that you don't have to keep coming back and reincarnating and taking the same tests, going through the same life lessons. So it's very important to forgive people, to let things go, to release the guilt, the shame, the fear, anything that may be holding you back. Because the only thing that it does is it lowers your vibrations of your soul so that you cannot manifest. And it makes it harder for you to be happy and to enjoy life if your vibrations are low as a soul. So, another thing I wanted to talk about that I've learned through my grief is one of the things that I had to do after my son was murdered in order to cope with his transition was to only focus on the happy memories of things that we had done, times that we had went out, all the fun things and the fun memories. Because I was with him when he was murdered, or right after he was murdered, it was hard for me to get that night out of my head for a long time. It would like replay over and over and over in my head for a long time. Until one day my son told me, like, Mom, he said, you know, you doing it backwards. He said, I came here and I lived on this earth for 21 years and we had some great times. And I did more than just die. He said, you're killing me every day, Mom. I died once and I lived 21 years and I did so many other things than just die that night. You making my life so tragic. He said, focus on all the good things, Mom, all the love. So that day, I think it had even been maybe like a year. That day when he told me that, I just was like, you know, son, you're right. So I made it a point to only focus on the good things, to only focus on the good memories. That I have of my son. And my son was spoiled rotten because he was my only boy. he did wrong, but in my eyes, he could do no wrong. And I treated him like like a king. And I'm so glad that I did, because I have all those good memories of my son to look back on. So, my advice for anyone who's going through grief or any situation that is causing you pain or sadness is to focus on all the good memories, to focus on all the good, even if the person is not deceased or has not transitioned and they're just not in your life. Just focus on all the good memories, on all the good times, and know that that person was in your life, if only for just a while or even for a long time, and they're not anymore. They were in your life for a reason, and all those good memories that you have, that you share, that you can look back on is the reason why. In some way, they made your life richer, they made your life better, they made your life happier during those times. And now that it's over, that's fine. They have simply moved on to enjoy their life, and you have simply done the same. And that's okay. And that is another way to take your power back from any situation. Because it's very easy for things to happen to us, and we give our power away unknowingly, and it's hard to get it back. So just try and remember some of these tips. I'm only letting you guys know these things because I've tried them for myself and they worked for me and for some of the mothers in my group, and also my daughters. And God will not let me stay to myself. I have to share. I have to share. He told me the other day, like, you don't get a lamp and hide it under the bed. You put the lamp on the lampstand and put it on a shelf. So put yourself on a shelf and let your light shine. So here I am shining for you guys, and for my mom, and for God, and for myself. And I just want you guys to do the same thing, to shine, to be your best self, to live your best life, and to have hope, and to have peace that surpasses all understanding. Because it's a beautiful time to be alive. It is. But happiness is an inside job. So I encourage everyone to work on themselves, to heal, to call your power back, and then to use that power to make yourself the best life possible. So thank you guys for clicking on my video so much. And you guys have a wonderful day. I love you guys, and namaste.